Yo, what is up you guys, Zero here, welcome back to yet another Lorcana video. It has been a bit of a second. Hope you all have been doing well. Sorry for my brief absence. It's just been busy. Life has been a little busy, Lorcana's been busy, and yeah, I've also swapped computers and took for granted all the little shortcuts and editing stuff I had prepared already, and without them, it's getting a little hard. So this video is going to be a little bit of a cheat, I guess you could say. This is footage from my locals at NRG at Buffalo Grove. They do stream their locals almost every Tuesday. If they can fire off, they will stream it. So for sure, go check it out if you haven't already. I've played in it, I've casted in it, so there have been a lot of footage with me in it. I'm not always going to be there, but when I am, you'll for sure catch me on the stream. But yeah, I'm cheating a little bit just because since I'm taking the footage from there, I don't have to do my overlays and stuff, which I'm missing. But yeah, I mean, you know, a new set is coming soon. I'm probably gonna make new overlays just now in advance. Just it's easier than trying to fish all my old stuff back. But yeah, look forward to that. But yeah, we are back on Blurple. It has been a hot second since we could play this deck. Actually, the Hiram ban I think did wonders for this deck. I won't say that red blue is the only thing holding it back, but just having it gone and the new meta, I think Blurple just has a bit of a spot in it. So yeah, my friend Ivan here, my teammate, is going to be on Ruby Amethyst. This is we are playing in the final round. So this is the final round of the locals, and we are playing for first place. I did have a draw in one of the rounds coming after this, but winner is going to be taking it all because we did have 4 rounds, and winning this will get me the highest record. So yeah, we have had some action already. I don't think we've missed too much. This is a very classic matchup, which we haven't seen in a while. You know, just the Ruby Sapphire meta has kind of made both of these decks disappear, and then now that it's gone, we're kind of seeing it again. But yeah, through some of the gameplay here, one thing that is going on right now, we are using the Elsa, and I traded Crab with the Goat, and then I buffed Elsa up to trade with this Sisu. Thinking back, should I have done that? That's a good question. I think one thing that we're gonna see throughout this game is I was overly worried about big Sisu, and stuff like that little Sisu was just making me scared. I didn't want to have my board cleared with a big Sisu and then just kind of lose from there. But we'll see Madame Medusa kind of does the same thing here, where it takes out my Genie. And here's a tech that I'm trying out in Blurple right now. I have Peter Pan Shadow. We see Peter Pan Shadow Finder being played a lot right now by a lot of purple decks. Mainly as a Diablo counter. A lot of people were worried that Diablo is going to go crazy in this meta now that Ruby Sapphire is gone. We see that not being too much of the case, but that could just be because all these Amethyst decks are right now in the meta with yeah, all these counters that they've come up with, like this Vanellope, just a lot of evasive counters. Maybe that's just holding them back, or maybe just not enough people are playing it. Hard to tell. But yeah, the first game, I know we didn't cover too much, but I was kind of on the back foot the whole time, and I can already see that I'm probably going to lose, but I'm not going to give up yet because I'm just going to take this time to scout my opponent's deck. I don't really know what's in it. Seeing things like that Vanellope is super good because now I know that he has it. I know what to look out for in the future, and we are just going to see what else we can find in our opponent's deck. I am on a different version of Blurple than usual. We don't run rabbits anymore. I think that's just kind of been a decision amongst a lot of the Blurple players that it is very slow in the current meta. We do things with finders, keepers instead, and try and draw more with it when we have more downtime, and try and recover in other ways. But yeah, I kind of went for a Hail Mary there with the finders, keepers. I don't think that was the best play. I was actually trying to look because I didn't find any bells yet, so I was hoping I would get 2 bells so I could like equivalate a little bit, but didn't turn out. I dropped an Elsa as a last ditch effort, and then I do see that my opponent is running B King Undisputed, another good tidbit to know. So now I know that my opponent also has B King Undisputed. So I think the first game wasn't too much of a wash. Yes, we lost, but we got some insight in our opponent's deck that's really important, especially since it's not just a standard red-purple deck. But yeah, we get to be on the play this game. We start with the followers, which is always nice. Get our draw. And then we actually find Sail, but we're not going to be playing it. We are going to play Tipo. I think, if I remember correctly, I ink away a genie here. This was actually a funny game. I had 2 genies in my starting hand, so I threw 1 away, and I drew 2 more. So every genie that I could have got, it was in my hand. So yeah, for sure, Tipo is going to get rid of one of those genies. And we get to play Genie on 3, one of the most OP things that we can do right now. But yeah, red-purple here. On turn 2, they get the 2 1-drops. I think the tried and true red-purple loves to get that off. But yeah, really nice here that on turn 3, our opponent gets the crab down, which is what they normally do anyway, but we don't have anything for it to hit. So we get to coast here with our genie and drop another genie because we had it. And double genie is pretty aggressive right now. It was nice that my opponent did not have brawl from my first genie initially. So now I get to kind of get a quest off. Also drop a turn the box followers for good measure here. And our opponent is going to be singing Friends with that crab, which they also like to do. And then here comes the rabbit. So I know my opponent is more on rabbits than genies on his build. So feels a little good when we have 2 genies on the board still unanswered. And I think a little bit about what I want to do. But for sure, turn the box followers, we are going to be questing. So that we get the draw. Then I trade Tipo and Genie into the crab because I have Bell, Mystic Bell. We get to take that 3 damage that Genie just got, move it over to the rabbit, and get rid of it. Of course, whenever you can, I think we still want to get rid of rabbit. I think rabbit, it just has a lot of value if it gets bounced, like the fox we just see being inked. Very nice. Not only that, we know our opponent is on B King Undisputed here. Him being able to sing that rabbit is a lot of value, so we're gonna try and get rid of that rabbit whenever we can. But yeah, my opponent is playing Elsa to hurt our genie. This is just you hate to see it. You don't really want to do it. You have to do it, I think, in some certain scenarios. But I do have an answer with the shadow with the crab buffing it. We can take out that Elsa so that our genies continue to go off here. My opponent is still 1 ink off of Be Prepared, so we are still safe for this 1 turn. He does get the Maui that will take out our Mystic Bell. And we can assume that a Be Prepared is coming here. I'm gonna go ahead and quest with everything, get up to 19. I was just 1 off. I wonder if I missed a quest at some point that could have got me that win, but I was waiting for that Be Prepared. I knew it was coming. My opponent knew it was coming. Why? Yeah, no reason to dilly-dally there. But my hand looks terrible here. You see, I have 2 Hades and a Fox. And of course, I can drop a Hades on an empty board, put pressure or whatever, but this is a resource game at this point. Not only that, I have goats in my deck, and I haven't found any of them, I think. Maybe one of them, but I know they're there, and I can fish for them. I can wait as long as I need to, as long as my opponent isn't close to winning yet. So we're good there. He drops a lot of 1-drops, and we end up using the Hades just to get rid of a broom. It's not that much value, but it's value nonetheless, so at least Hades was doing more than before. And we get Tremained by our opponent here. That's fine, because we do have another Hades, so we are going to go ahead and play that. Not only that, we also find a Popsicle, and the Popsicle draws us a Bell, which is very nice. We get to put another character on the board for pressure. You could kind of think about maybe saving the Bell in case B prep comes down, but there's other things like we could worry about, you know, another Madame Medusa or something, but it ends up my opponent does have to be prepared, so we are still hunting for that win. He does drop a library, and I do think I make a mistake on this turn. It's not too big of one, but it could have maybe decided the game. I go ahead, I'm going to drop my Tipo, and then the Fox I have. I go ahead and attack the library. I think I was just worried that next turn, if he gets rid of this Fox, then I don't really have an answer to the library gaining lore, but Realistically, I was going to quest with a fox anyway if it stayed on the field. I should have just kept it upright in case my opponent had Maui or something like Elsa and Crab or something that could take out the fox. That would have been really bad. So, oh, well, if there was an Elsa, he could have exerted it anyway. So, yeah, you know, things like Maui, stuff like that, definitely a concern. I shouldn't have exerted it to be able to be taken out. But nonetheless, we do take game 2, so we can go to game 3 here, which is for all the marbles. We're going to be seeing who takes home the victory in this local tournament. But yeah, off to the start. My opponent will get his 1-drop Diablo on the field. We respond with a popsicle. I don't know if you saw my hand. I was kind of excited about it in the beginning because I have 2 popsicles and 2 bells. So I was like, oh, I'm going to try and get this off if I can. We see on this top deck though, I'm not sure if I already had the sale or if I just top decked it. Now I'm thinking about what I want to do here. Oh, so I top decked it off the friends there. So now I have the sale. I want to play it, but I was like, oh, I was going to do the popsicle bell, but now I don't want to make anything else. I had Elsa in my hand. I had a Mystic Bell, and I didn't want to ink any of that. I think it's going to be very important for the matchup later. I end up inking the bell, which stinks. Not what I intended, because I really wanted to play that bell into the popsicle, the popsicle into the bell. That's why I sang friends with this bell, because I was expecting to have another bell on the field, even though my opponent gets to grab his Diablo into my bell. But yeah, I'm not sure if that was the right decision, inking that bell. It kind of hurt to do it, but I felt like everything else was so much more important. But yeah, just a little unfortunate there. We do get our Genie on our next turn though, but this time my opponent has the Brawl. So Genie answered for now, and this Crab and Diablo gets to live for another day. We do have another Genie though, so I'm of course going to drop it, especially when I'm seeing my opponent is light on Genies, or maybe not even running Genie. I think my Genie can get away with a lot here if it doesn't get Brawled or Medusa'd or anything like that. But yeah, my opponent is going to play Rabbit once again, so again, I am concerned about the possibility of singing this Be King Undisputed. And I think for quite a bit on this turn on if I do want to do this, because it seems like a negative tempo play almost, but I'm going to attack this Crab. My opponent's confused too also, because he's like, why is this happening? But yeah, I attack the Crab, get the damage on my Genie. This is the same thing I did on the last game, so I'm going to take out the Rabbit this way. Maybe I'm prioritizing Rabbit too much, but you know, when you're playing Blurple, you really want control of the board, whatever it takes. If this is what it takes, this is what you're gonna have to do. He does find a Brawl this time though. That Genie gets taken out after not doing much. It does hurt the Crab, very nice, and we did take out the Rabbit, so maybe not doing much is understating its use right there. But unfortunately we didn't get the quest of either of our Genies before they both got Brawled. But yeah, this little Sisu is going to take out our Diablo, but we get an Elsa. I think for a little while here, if I want the little Sisu or the Crab, I opt to take out the Crab. I think that's just a bigger pressure point, especially with a Diablo on the board. If my opponent plays Elsa or something, he can swing pretty wide and just take out our board, and I don't think we can recover from there. So when we can, we're going to take out the Crab. And I'm going to use Popsicle to heal my Elsa. The reason I do that is I know my opponent has like Vanellope, he has Elsa, so I want to get her above the damage point, so like it would survive Vanellope here, but my opponent does have Crab, so Elsa will still get taken out, but does force the Crab out, which is fine. Back on my turn, my opponent is at 10 lore now, a little concerning. I opt to sing Friends with Bell here. And I think the reason is it's a resource game at this point. I think questing with Bell isn't going to do much. So we just want to get more resources in hand so we can answer our opponent's cards and just have a healthy hand still. But yeah, we end up Hades. I'm going to play it on the Vanellope just because I want my characters to survive, and that was just the bigger threat on the board right now. I get Finders Keepers off on this turn where not much is happening. My opponent just has the Sisu and the Crab. I'm going to trade that Crab, get that Crab off the board here, quest with the Bell, and I think for a second that if I want to bounce my Hades back, because I was kind of worried about losing it, but then I look at my hand, I have 2 other Hades. There's 2 more Hades in that. That's not the problem right now. What I need is a wider board, so I just dropped this Crab. to just exert more pressure on the board. We need to lure more. We need to catch up to our opponent here. He's going to shift his Sisu here just to get that quest off. He really wants to get closer and closer to 20 and put that pressure down. Now that Sisu's down, I don't feel bad dropping his Genie. He feels relatively safe. I think about playing the Fox here, but I decide I'm just going to trade the Bell into the Sisu instead, because I want to use the rest of my ink to just play more characters. Something like this Goat here. And then I'll drop this Diablo so that I get more characters on the board. I could have spent some time foxing, but another thing I was thinking is, hey, this Fox that I want to use it to bounce the Goat back. I don't want to use it right now when I have a character that can already take care of the Sisu and get it off the board for me. But yeah, my opponent is going to take this turn to get his Finders Keepers off and get this Peter Pan onto the field. And yeah, we are worried once again of B prep, all that fun stuff. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to quest out. We don't want to put too much else on the board in case we do get B prepped. Well, yeah, that quest out gets us up to 14. We are going to play that Fox like we want it because this Goat is precious. We want to keep it alive so that we can do some bounce shenanigans later. And I just dropped a Popsicle with my extra ink. And Sail just to draw a card. I just need to keep cycling my hand, look for something good. I think about playing the Bell here, but then I changed my mind because I was like, hey, I don't want to drop that right now when I'm about to get B prepped. But yeah, my opponent is going to sing Friends with that Peter Pan, which is very nice. He gets to keep his hand a little healthier, and then the B prep comes, which we knew was coming. So yeah, glad we kept that Popsicle. I'm not sure, yeah, was I using it for Bell or was I trying to heal something? I think I was trying to play Bell. That's why I decided not to do it. But yeah, Genie comes down. This is the blunder that I think it was getting late, and I just wasn't thinking straight. I dropped the Goat because I'm playing around Big Sisu. Why am I playing around Big Sisu with red purple? I mean, they have it, of course, but B prep is such a bigger problem with them. Not only that, our opponent already played a Sisu. I just completely forgot. I'm just kind of turn by turn, I'm kind of forgetting things that are happening. This Goat is so precious. There's no reason to lose it here. So this was a very, very bad misplay where now I don't have, like, look, if I played something else there, I would be one lore shorter, but I would still have this Goat. I could have like Goat and bounced it here. And then I'm pretty sure I just win from there. It's hard to come back from. I think I have enough ink, but who knows. Anyway, we are just going to keep that pressure up. I want to put Lethal on board just to make my opponent have to have an answer to this Peter Pan and this Fox. He does with the Madame Medusa and his own Goat. Now it's getting a little scary. And yeah, we have to remove this Goat because if it stays on the board, it's pretty much over. So I Popsicle to draw, and then we're going to drop the Hades to get this Goat off the field. My opponent's at 18, so another Goat does it. A lot of things does it, but yeah, on this turn is my opponent's misplay. So we're both misplaying. It's a local game. It's a good time to learn and figure these things out. But here he plays this Finders Keepers to draw. But little does he know that probably an answer is in his hand. He has a B prep and a library, so he could have dropped both of them, and that would have been a pretty big threat. My deck does have a Cusco, which was an answer. I don't draw it, but if the Cusco does come down, that would have been pretty bad, I think. But I still think the better play is probably to get that library on board. I think my opponent agrees after we talked about the game afterwards. But yeah, just a slight thing because I'm sure he's looking really hard for the Goat. That's the other thing. He has, I think, 4 Goats, 3 or 4 Goats, pretty sure it's 4 Goats that he hasn't seen. So fishing for cards there at Finders Keepers, probably not the wrong move, because what are the chances that the Goats aren't coming up right now? Yeah, I mean, I was kind of tunneling on my Goats as well. I'm hoping to find another Goat. So I think when we are at these high lore totals and we're playing Amethyst decks, it's hard not to tunnel on Goats, but I mean, we just love our Goats, what can we say? But yeah, we're both looking at, my opponent actually asked me to check my discard there for how many Goats are in there. There's just that one that was removed, unfortunately. But yeah, he's worried about me top decking a Goat, so he does do that trade. But I do have this Hades to get rid of this Elsa. and I got this bell to support this Hades. So yeah, this is gonna be this back and forth, and my opponent unfortunately does not find an answer, not a goat or anything to wipe my board, and I take the win there. But yeah, it was super close game. It was great. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Yeah, see you.